Hey Radhika, did you read the newspaper today? They are talking about ozone layer depletion and the ultraviolet radiations.
What's that got to do with me?
Reduced ozone levels as a result of ozone depletion mean less protection from the sun's rays and more exposure to ultraviolet radiation at the Earth's surface.
Mom, I think I read something about it in the newspaper.
But I don't know much about the impact of ozone depletion on mankind. Let's ask your teacher, Miss Neerja.
Sure, let's call her. Good morning, ma'am. Neerja ma'am, could you please tell me something about ozone and why is it depleting?
Okay, but before I answer that query, tell me, what is the chemical formula of oxygen?
It's O2, isn't it?
That's correct. And did you know that when ultraviolet radiation from the sun tries to enter into the atmosphere, the O2 molecule breaks into oxygen atoms which further combine with oxygen molecules and form ozone, O3. Did you get it?
Got it. I read somewhere that ozone forms a shield and filters out the damaging ultraviolet rays of the sun. Without the natural ozone layer, many living things on the earth would die. But I would love to know more about ozone and its prevalence in the atmosphere. Do you have any informational video to explain it further?
I think I have just the right one for you. 15 to 35 kilometers above Earth's surface, a gas called ozone surrounds the planet. The ozone layer acts as a barrier between Earth and ultraviolet radiation from the sun. However, pollution has caused the ozone layer to thin, exposing life on Earth to dangerous radiation. Earth's atmosphere is made up of 6 layers. The second layer, called the stratosphere, contains the ozone layer. The ozone layer is made up of a highly reactive molecule called ozone, which contains 3 oxygen atoms. Ozone is a trace gas in the atmosphere. There are only about 3 molecules for every 10 million molecules of air, but it does a very important job. The ozone layer acts as Earth's sunscreen, absorbing about 98% of damaging ultraviolet or UV light. But the ozone layer has gotten thinner. Chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs are the primary culprits in ozone layer breakdown. A CFC is a molecule that contains the elements carbon, chlorine and fluorine. CFCs are mostly found in refrigerants, aerosols and plastic products. When CFCs are exposed to ultraviolet rays in the atmosphere, they break down into substances that include chlorine. The chlorine reacts with the oxygen atoms in the ozone and rips apart the ozone molecule. Areas of damage in the ozone layer are often called ozone holes, but that name is misleading. Ozone layer is more like a thin patch with the thinnest areas near the poles. The ozone layer above the Antarctic in particular has been impacted by pollution since the mid-1980s. There, the region's low temperatures speed up the conversion of CFCs to ozone-damaging chlorine. About 90% of CFCs currently in the atmosphere were emitted by industrialized countries in the Northern Hemisphere. In 1989, the Montreal Protocol banned the production of ozone-depleting substances. Since then, the amount of chlorine and other ozone-depleting elements in the atmosphere have been falling. Scientists estimate that chlorine levels will return to their natural state in about 50 years. By then, the Antarctic ozone hole will shrink to smaller than 8 million square miles. Many crops and plants are also sensitive to ozone depletion and are harmed by an increase in the ultraviolet rays. These rays can travel through water. They are capable of killing the plankton, which is an important source of food for many other creatures like fish and whales. They can also be damaging to our eyes. 1% decrease in the ozone may result in 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh cases of blindness due to eye cataract worldwide. Shocking, isn't it?
Today, I would like to tell my friends that whenever they step out in the sun, they must use sunglasses and hats, not as a fashion statement, but to protect our eyes and face. We must wear clothes that cover the maximum part of the body. Above all, we must limit our exposure to sun between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
So let us take a pledge to act responsibly to help heal the planet. More strength to us, the global warriors of the earth.